Hey guys, welcome back to the Full Co. I realised it had been a little while and I hadn't put a video out. I hadn't done a look back at the quarterfinal against Eintracht Frankfurt. Been a little busy, obviously Easter weekend and all those kind of things. So I just wanted to put a very quick video together looking at what the progression in the Europa League means for Tottenham and the things that I'm kind of looking for as we go forward, because we've got a couple of really tough games. We're playing high-flying Nottingham Forest on Monday night, and then we've got Liverpool, who could, in theory, seal the title against Tottenham. So looking at the game against Eintracht Frankfurt, delighted, obviously, to have gone there to a very, very good team, a team that doesn't lose many games at home, has got a great goal scoring record, and not only did we go there, get the result, we got the win, we got a clean sheet. All of those things are super important, but I think what most people are delighted about is there was an evident change in the style of play, the tactical setup of the team, and what the team were willing to do and how they were going there to set themselves out. What's interesting from my perspective, looking at this and going forward in the league, is that most people are going to continue down the line of saying that the league is gone, therefore it doesn't matter. Although there still seems to be a lot of complaining when we get beaten in the league. But it's a fair point that the league for us takes on secondary significance, and therefore what we're looking for in the league, and it's what I've always said, is performances over results. And it's also about minutes in legs and confidence and being able perhaps to try things and to try and put things out there against competitive opposition that you might want to use in the two upcoming games against Bodo Glimt, excuse me, in the semi-finals. So we are going to Forest on Monday night. We're at home on Monday night. I'll be there. And for me, I'm very, very happy for Spurs to change the entire 11 if we want. Lots of people rather glibly saying, well, let's play the kids, let's do this, let's do that. That's absolutely fine. But one of the things that is really important is that when we played Frankfurt away, we showed that we were willing to do something a bit different. There was far more cover in the midfield area in front of the defence. The defence was more disciplined. The fullbacks didn't invert in the same way. They certainly didn't bomb up the pitch in quite the same way. We had much more solid shape. So if Ange and the coaching staff are going to do something different, they are not going to just do the tactics that we've seen throughout the course of the season. And with all the injuries, we're still going to play the same way because it's about what's going to come on the other side of it. If we are going to change and we are going to do something different, then we've got an opportunity to do that in the league games. And therefore, I don't think we should rotate as heavily as some people are saying. You spread out the minutes, you make sure that all your kind of senior players, your kind of 14, 15 senior names are all getting as many minutes as possible. And certainly if anyone's carrying knocks or niggles or little bits, those are the ones that you rest, even if that is a player that you would, under normal circumstances, say, okay, that player's going to play because it's against Liverpool. You rest that player because it's far more important that they are fit for the home leg of the Bodo Glimt game. So I really want to see that level of desire and performance from whichever 11 starts against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are going to be a hell of a test. They've shown themselves to be a great side. They're in really, really good form this season, and they are going to come at us. They are going to counter-attack us to death. So we've got to show that against a team that's going to try and do that, can we put in place the things that we need? Because in theory, the way that Nottingham Forest play, and they're doing it really well, could be kryptonite to the way that Tottenham usually set up and usually play. So, wingers getting forward quickly into those pockets that are left by our fullbacks who push on. Centre halves kind of playing up on the halfway line. And we've shown that even in the Frankfurt game, the Ekitike chance, once again, that was an offside playing error by Romero and by Porro. They dropped. Van der Ven didn't. He stayed up. Udogie stayed up. And so we had a sawtooth again. And that's why Ekitike was onside from a long ball by the goalkeeper. And it's only the pace of Mickey Van der Ven that allowed him to get back in there and challenge. So what I'm really hoping to see is that no matter who plays, we are going to put in place something that, to the best of our ability, with the players that we've got out there, even if it's not our strongest 11 or arguably strongest 11, it is something that can nullify the threats. And that is something I feel has been missing. That is something that we are going to play one way. People have consistently identified where our weak spots are and exploited them, and we haven't done anything, whether that being the setup or whether that being reactively while we're playing. I think some of the players have not covered themselves in glory in terms of identifying situations on the pitch and actually dealing with it in the moment. So I really want to see that. I want to see that in the performance levels. I'm hoping that we can get a result as well against Nottingham Forest. We're at home. We should be in good voice because of the game last week and everybody feeling confident that we're going through to a European semi-final. But performance is the main thing. So I'll be really interested to see how we put down our tactics in that game against a team that's going to play in a very specific way. And then the Liverpool game, if we need to make rotations, because that's obviously much closer to the first leg of the semi-final, again, absolutely fine by me. I'm not expecting to get a result against Liverpool. We very rarely do. So again, it's about performance. And again, it's about what are we doing to nullify the way that Liverpool play? What are we doing to impose ourselves perhaps in a different way than we normally would? We know how Ange wants to impose his system. No matter who he's playing against, he wants to be, constantly pressing high line, inverted fullbacks, centre backs stepping out, all of those things. We understand that, but we've also shown that if we are not at it with the press, Liverpool will take advantage. If we make individual mistakes, they will absolutely take advantage. If we fail to be as committed as we were against Frankfurt defensively, and to back each other up and to be getting in there and throwing our body on the line and making blocks, Liverpool are a fantastic team. They will take advantage. So I'm looking for what are we going to do? How are we going to put down that performance against Liverpool and let the result be what it's going to be. Hopefully we come out of those two games with our head held high, because it's also about confidence and rhythm and tempo, and those things are going to be important. So I'm not in the camp of play the kids, bring on the under 16s, as good as the academy sides are doing at the minute. Let's share out the minutes, get a nice balance to the teams that are starting the games and the subs that we're making. And above all else, if we are now going to show that we are going to go with different setups and different ways of doing the system, let's put it down against these teams. Let's show that we can deal with the threat that Nottingham Forest are going to pose, coming to us and playing, I would expect, a very counter-attacking nature of football, and the way that Liverpool are going to play against us, and they're going to be a bit more dominant. So I'm excited to see what we can do. Again, I won't care about the result if the performances are there, but if the performances aren't there, like against Wolves, I will care about the result. And I'm sure there's quite a few other fans that probably feel the same way. Anyway, it's great to be on the back of a victory. It's great to be through to a European semi-final. Let's get behind the team and let's see what we can do between now and the end of the season. That's it from me. Everyone, if you celebrate Easter, have a great Easter and come on Tottenham.